All right, welcome. Today we're going to break down a really practical, no-nonsense strategy for building a powerful social media presence. Forget all the myths you've heard. This is the actual playbook for professionals. And this is really the core of it all. Long-term success online, it's not about being the most charismatic person in the room. It's about the simple, powerful discipline of showing up, day after day. That is the thing that truly separates the accounts that grow from the ones that just fizzle out.
Okay, so if we all know consistency is the key, why is it so darn hard, right? Let's dig into a new way of looking at this problem, one that most people miss.
You know, we always tell ourselves, I just need more willpower. I need to get motivated. But what if that's completely the wrong way to look at it? The real problem isn't a lack of motivation. It's decision fatigue. So the solution isn't to just try harder. It's to plan smarter. So you have to make way fewer decisions in the heat of the moment. So if the real enemy here is decision fatigue, the solution is actually pretty simple. You just make the decisions before the pressure hits. And this is where we build our strategic infrastructure. And your number one tool for this? It's the content calendar. And look, this isn't about killing your creativity. It's the exact opposite. It's about setting aside a dedicated, low-pressure time for creativity. This is where you figure out your topics, your formats, your opening lines, when you're relaxed, not scrambling 10 minutes before you need to post.
The whole goal here is to make posting as easy as possible. Think of it like lowering the execution cost of getting it done. When you've already decided what to say and how to say it, the path of least resistance is to just do it. You're basically rigging the game so that success is the easiest choice you can make.
All right, so you've got the calendar set up. Now, what do you actually put in it? Let's talk about the ingredients, the formula that actually builds a real solid connection with your audience. This isn't about throwing spaghetti at the wall.
See, a really great content strategy isn't random. It actually follows this proven 50-30-20 mix. And each part of this mix has a very specific job to do, designed to build a relationship before you ever ask for anything. So the biggest piece of the pie, a full 50% of what you put out there, should just be about teaching. You're giving away valuable info, teaching something useful. This is how you prove you know your stuff. It's your ongoing public proof of competence. Okay, next up is the 30%. This is all about building trust. It's where you get to be, human. Share a client's story. Show a peek behind the curtain of how you work. Share what you actually believe about your industry. People do business with people they like and trust, and this is where that bond is built. And finally, we get to the sales pitch. But notice it's the smallest slice, only 20%. And there's a funny thing that happens here. The less you overtly sell, the more you'll actually sell. By the time people see your offer, all your other content has already done the heavy lifting.
Now, here's a really important catch. You can't just take this 50-30-20 formula and blast it everywhere. You've got to learn to speak the native language of each social media platform.
Okay, I'm going to say it. This is the biggest mistake I see professionals make. They just copy and paste the same content everywhere. It feels efficient. I get it, but trust me, it just doesn't work. Each platform has its own vibe, its own culture, and you have to genuinely adapt. So let's really break this down for the big four. I want you to think of them like different rooms at a party. You wouldn't act the same way in the kitchen as you would in the formal living room, right? It's the same idea online. First up, Instagram. This is your art gallery. People land on your profile and in about 3 seconds, they decide if they're staying. It's all about that visual first impression, so having a consistent, high-quality look is everything. And pro tip, a real, thoughtful reply to a comment, that's pure gold.
Then you've got Facebook. Think of this as the community block party or the town hall. The absolute best thing you can do here is just be a genuinely helpful neighbor. Go into groups, answer questions, provide real value. And you might be surprised, but a simple, personal story told through text often goes way further than a flashy image.
All right, now let's go to LinkedIn. This is the professional boardroom for sure. This is not the place for fluff. People here want real, specific, honest insights. Don't be afraid to challenge an old idea in your industry. Write like you're talking to a peer you respect. And finally, TikTok. This is like having a one-on-one coffee chat. All that corporate polish, you gotta drop it. Seriously, it's just you talking to the camera like you're explaining a cool idea to a friend. It's a person with an idea, not a brand with a message. So we've talked about calendars, content formulas, platforms, but all of this stuff, all of it, has to be guided by one big idea, your North Star, and that's your personal brand.
And before I give you a definition, I want you to ask yourself something. Seriously, when people in your field hear your name, what's the first word that pops into their head? That honest answer, that's the core of your brand.
And that right there, that gets to what a personal brand really is. Forget about logos and colors for a second. Your brand is your reputation. It's the answer to the question we just asked. It's that specific, memorable thing that makes someone choose you over all the other options.
Okay, so let's put it all together. Let's wrap this up into one simple winning formula that you can actually use.
Here it is. This is the whole game. First, you need absolute clarity on your brand, what you're all about. Second, you need that consistency we talked about, just showing up. Third, you need quality content that actually helps people. And last, and this one's tough, you need the patience to let it all grow over time. That's how you get real results.
Look, at the end of the day, the strategy isn't a secret anymore. The playbook is right here. The tools are there. The only thing left, the only real variable in this whole equation is you. So the question is, are you going to show up?